your host for Public Pulse, Floyd Whiting.
Good morning and welcome to Public Pulse. Now, the Sheridan County YMCA is often the first place a child encounters team sports, camps, and making friends outside of school and their family's social circles. Passion and competitive spirit is born there. But it's not just for the kids. There are many programs developed for adults and seniors, even yoga that you can view online, right in the comfort of your own home. Joining me this morning from the Sheridan County YMCA is the Executive Director, Liz Cassidy. Good morning, Liz. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I love fall.
Yes.
I was just standing outside, and we've got these beautiful trees out there. And I'll bet I wasted 5 minutes just watching the leaves fall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it seems like such a simple thing. But how often, do you really get to sit there and watch leaves fall off of a tree?
Oh, just beautiful.
It's something simple, but it's something that everyone can enjoy. I want to congratulate you. You've recently been nominated for the Wyoming Business Report 2022 Woman of Influence. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Congratulations. How did they let you know that was going to happen?
You know, they gave me a call. I laughed to myself of influence. They gave me a call and I could barely slow down to answer it. It was wonderful voicemail sharing about the award.
Just because you were so busy?
Yeah, just busy.
Thanks for the nomination. I got to go do stuff.
Yeah, and kind of, I knew something that they sent me an email and asked for a little bit of information on myself, and I shot it out really quick. And then Sheridan Media came to interview me, and I was like, oh, I think this is a thing.
It is.
But unfortunately, I won't be able to go to the award ceremony because it's just a busy.
You're out there influencing
right.
people.
I'm just on the ground influencing.
Well, I think it's fantastic. It is very well earned. You do such a great job for us here within the community. All those kids. I didn't know. You've been there, 15 years?
Yeah, this summer it'll be 15 years. So.
And the majority of that was spent in youth programs.
Yes. Still so near and dear to my heart.
Absolutely. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So just real quick, Liz, why did you first start working at the Y?
Oh, gosh.
What took you there?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I did secondary education through my undergrad, and I did my student teaching at Pine Ridge and was like, gosh, I'm too young to be in the classroom. I was 20 years old, and there was students there that were 18, 19, 20 themselves in terms of it being a federally ran school. And so I went on and got my graduate degree in history and just digging in archives and spending the whole day with my head in books, and graduated and came to Sheridan. My then boyfriend had a job here in Sheridan, and I thought, we'll spend a year and then I'll go on to get my...
Just to stop, right?
Right. Get my doctorate after this. And I thought, I'll get a part-time job. This will be a great little break. And I saw the post for an after-school program director at the Y. And in my head, I was like, yeah, I could jump rope and hang out with some kids for a while. I love
right?
kids.
Why not?
Yeah. And started the work, and it just, I tell my kids, keep your mind open, because what you think you want versus what you really need in life are two different things. And by the end of the first semester working in after school and realizing, one, this wasn't a part-time job. This was like a thing. This was all your energy kind of position, but also not helping many people researching one very specific historical topic that I'm really interested in an archive versus, I did lots of history curriculum with our after-school kids. So we were panning for gold in the back of our old pickup truck. And, we did Ellis Island, and we took kids into the tiniest bathroom of the Y where it was stinky. And we talked about, this is what it would have felt when you're in this holding cell. And just all those ways that I hope had an impact. And I see kids that I started with that were kindergartners, and now they're adults having families. And that continuum, and I mean, that's the YMCA continuum, is that you get to see 6-week-old babies, and you get to see folks at the end of their life that are still super active and engaged, and to be part of it. I mean, 15 years doesn't feel very long because it's just, I'm growing up at the Y. I mean, it's my first adult job is what I like to say. And I never thought twice about going on to get that PhD after jump roping with some kids.
Wow. So one part-time job, part-time quotes
right.
around it, changed your life forever. That is incredible, Liz. That's an incredible story. And it makes me wonder, okay, so what was it that you were initially wanting to do? Just like an archivist at a museum or a library?
Well, I thought maybe I'd be a professor.
A professor?
You know.
Of history? Or?
Yeah. And so I love like Dust Bowl history, any of that early U.S. history, love American West history, all those type of things. So I thought, well, I'll teach, I'll write, all those things. But I mean, at the end of the day, I cannot even measure it up against the things I get to do at the Y. And the fact that some days it's working with kids in the pool, and other days it's high level thinking in terms of being strategic with our board and everything in between. And it's really living in your community.
Yeah.
And working in your community in a way that it's hard to even describe, but you can see when someone catches it, when you have someone that starts as a part-time staff at the Y and it clicks. You know, the first time they identify a kid, they're like, that kid that's always in the hall, they should be in camp. And we can make it happen.
Yep.
And then they're just like, oh, this is bigger than a lifeguard or a weight room attendant. There's something bigger that I'm now tied into. And
so you are a teacher, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you teach every day.
Yeah.
And you get to write, right?
That's right.
Maybe I was going to say maybe not a paper on a particular subject, but you get to write, and you get to write about something that you're very passionate about as well. The why.
Absolutely.
Grant writing is something that it is a skill. If you can write a grant, you can get a job pretty much at any nonprofit around if you can write a decent grant. So how did you learn to write grants? Was that something that just came naturally? You'd had the education. You're like, you know what? I can fill this box in. This is not a problem. Or is there something more to it? You know,
there's certainly trainings and I laugh almost everything you do at the Y. You can feel like an imposter all day long because, you know, the first time I'm like, I'm going to teach art to preschoolers. I'm not trained in art. I'm not trained to do this. And then you kind of just have to dismiss all of those naysaying parts of your head and just realize at the Y, it's all about, but do you have the drive to figure it out? And that especially youth work is so forgiving. You know, like my art looks like a preschooler's. And so it's just diving in. And the same with grant writing, all those type of things is do the research and just do it. Try it.
Yeah.
I think we've, as a society, limited ourselves a lot. Like, is that my expertise? No, that's someone else's. We should get a consultant to do that for us. Instead of just, you know, we live in the world of internet. You know, I can YouTube anything.
I'm going to be putting a muffler in sometime this weekend, and I've never done it before. So YouTube's going to help me along that route.
That's right. And I mean, it sounds like I'm overly simplifying it, but there's so many things where I think people opt out of being a part of their community. And in a small town, you have to all step in ways that maybe isn't your specialization. Maybe you didn't go to school for it, but that's what's cool about small towns is you get put in opportunities where you are the jack of all trades. And it's really fun when you see it. You're going to have Aaron Butler on and you're going to hear about people in our community that do theater. And guess what? Their day jobs are nothing like theater.
Exactly. Yeah. I talked to one of our actors earlier this month and you know, or it may have even been last month, but just he's really, really young. But having this opportunity in a small town to own the stage. I
Yeah.
mean, you're not going to get that in larger communities. Now, speaking of small towns, and speaking of the Y and the opportunities at the Y, you have one that may do for somebody else what this part-time position did for you. You've got an opening in the weight room, correct?
Yes.
Now, what does that mean to have a job in the weight room? Because I'm thinking right off the top of my head, okay, I'm going around, I'm making sure that everything's clean, I'm making sure that everything's picked up. What goes with this job?
Yeah, so exactly that and so much more. Our weight room attendant is, or weight room supervisors, FES attendants, group exercise instructors, all those kind of positions in our fitness areas are on the surface, it's cleaning machines, or our FES attendant gets electrodes hooked up to those with paralysis so that they can ride a bike. And so if you have paralyzation of, say, your lower body, those electrodes can send stimulation to your legs, and so that you can have a cardiovascular workout. And
I did not even know that was a thing.
yeah, and we have actually 2 bikes in our weight room. And so, again, just like working with youth, there's that aha moment that somebody who maybe comes to the weight room on a scholarship and they have been insecure about food and housing and lots of different things, and they're starting over and they're trying to have a fresh, healthy lifestyle. And they see you every day at 7 p.m. when they come in, and you're friendly and you're welcoming, and you don't view them as anything but another Y member.
Yeah.
And it's awesome in terms of when that clicks for someone in the weight room or an FES attendant or cycling instructor, that you are part of what someone sees as their new health journey, and you are support and stabilization and welcoming.
Yeah. So this job really takes a certain type of character, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Someone who's very willing to do everything that you just went through. Someone who's very tolerant.
Yes.
Shows a lot of empathy, I would imagine. Now, has the Y experienced serious staffing issues like the rest of the organizations around? I mean, have you guys really had to kind of pull some teeth to get positions filled?
Absolutely. And, we're not immune to anything. And we're so thankful in terms of with inflation, it's so hard to keep up. And I know all employers are trying to figure out that strategy of what's the wages you need to pay. But also for us, our product isn't, some kind of commodity that you buy that you can then just bring up with the price of staffing. Our Y membership is for folks who maybe have no income now. They're on a fixed retired income. And so we have to take really seriously that we've got to figure out ways to increase wages, and we can't just bump up our membership price and think that we'll still be there for everyone who needs us.
Yeah. And I can completely understand that. Is that something that is controlled at a national level by the YMCA, or do you have direct control over that?
So it's all locally determined.
Wow.
And so just based on where you are in the U.S., I talked to a colleague in Oregon, and just their minimum wage is more like $15 an hour.
It's pretty incredible in Oregon.
And there's other places that are like, no, we're still starting staff at $7.25. I'm like, oh gosh, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Sheridan, Wyoming, nor would we ever want to. But there's a lot of variety, or Ys that are just going exclusively to volunteer ran programs.
Wow.
Because they cannot
afford it.
Yeah.
It just kind of it's amazing how much control you actually have over your organization, because it is kind of it's under an umbrella though.
Right.
A national YMCA, right? Or it's international at this point.
Yes.
An international organization, but you get to control your facility.
Absolutely.
And that's pretty much everything.
Yeah.
There's so much
influence.
Yeah. You know what? On that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to continue with our Sheridan County YMCA.
At Eliason Financial, money management isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about dreams and opportunities, and more importantly, family. We'll take time to get to know you. Then we'll develop a unique wealth management plan that works hard, just like you. To learn more about who we are and what our wealth management advisors can do for you, visit Eliason Financial online or call 307-672-3010. Securities offered through Royal Alliance Associates, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
The share it with a friend deal, even if that friend is yourself. Your McDonald's, your rules.
There's a deal for every friendship at McDonald's. Right now, buy a Big Mac, 10-piece chicken McNuggets, or a quarter pounder with cheese, and get the second one for just $1. And pair them with one of our frozen drinks, like the new Fanta Blue Raspberry. Price and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Remember when your mom used to say, always wear clean underwear in case you get in an accident? Well, if you ignored her, and now you're getting your neck collar fitted and you have on day-old underwear, then you need the calming, health-giving stuff you can only get at the Health Nut, aisle after aisle of the supplements you need to get better and to stay better in a healthy deli and grocery store. And no one judges you for your underwear habits. The Health Nut in Sheridan's 5th Street Mall.
The following message is presented by Century 21 BHJ, 101 South Main.
Hey, Sheridan County, this is Ed from Sheridan County Public Health. Flu season is nearly upon us. This year's flu vaccine helps to protect against 4 strains of the influenza virus. The best way to protect yourself, your family, and your community is with the flu vaccine. Call your healthcare provider or call us here at Public Health. 672-5169. That's 672-5169 with questions or to make an appointment. Stay safe, stay healthy.
This week on the Weekend Sports Wrap podcast, it's nearly time for the MLB playoffs, so we break down the playoff bracket as it stands and some predictions for the playoffs. We talk about a full weekend slate of football, both college and the NFL, and we had something very special happen in the NFL on Sunday. Tune in to find out what it was. The Weekend Sports Wrap podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, or on SheridanMedia.com and PodcastWyoming.com.
Good morning and welcome back to Public Pulse. I'm Floyd Whiting. This morning I am with the Executive Director of the Sheridan County YMCA, Liz Cassidy. During the break, Liz, you and I were discussing the various roles of the Y. I'm learning a lot about the YMCA this morning. There are some things that we need to get to, and I'll make sure to get to those, but the various roles that YMCAs have taken throughout the entire world. Would you just tell listeners what the Y looks like in the Middle East? Because that's the one that kind of caught me off guard the most.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with fitness.
That's right. You know, it's the Y is here to serve the community and strengthen community. So for us, that's a great recreation center and other programming that supports our community. For other places, it's a neutral ground for religious leaders to come together and have conversations about community, and it's neutral. In other parts of the world, it's a place where you get vaccines, different medical resources. In other places, and in the United States, again, the YMCA is starting to be a place for housing again, knowing that housing is such an issue in communities that I just talked to a Y in Idaho, and they're looking at housing and how do they invest to ensure vulnerable community members have that support to have a healthy life.
Almost like a shelter.
Yes.
Literally becoming the shelter for the community.
Right. And a lot of people remember the YMCAs used to be kind of, you know, it could serve as a hostel. You could spend the night at a Y. And then childcare became such an strong need as mothers went to work. And so Ys were like, ooh, childcare and housing don't really mix in the same building.
Right.
So then housing kind of went to the wayside, and they started serving as a childcare center in their communities. And now we're seeing that pendulum swing again. So it's just interesting that the Y is not just one thing.
That is interesting, because everywhere, maybe I just haven't been that involved in the Y. And that's an admission. But when I was a kid in Baker City, Oregon, we would go to the Y at, I believe it was 11 o'clock, and for $1, you could get into a dance. And every Friday night, that's where everyone who's anyone was going to be, because it was for all ages. Everybody could go in there. It was a professional DJ. I mean, they really set this up. It was great. Fog machines, lights, you name it. It was fantastic. And but that's what the Y was for me as a kid. Community center, they hold the dances. You get the stamp on the hand. You can come and go. It's where all the cool kids hung out. But it didn't have anything to do with fitness.
Right.
And now that I think about it, I'm not sure if that YMCA had any other rooms outside of the giant gym.
And it still doesn't. I was just at a conference with their executive director. And
you're kidding me.
They're still all split all up. They go to this school for this gym and this place for other locations to hold classes or childcare, and they're serving their community. It just looks very different than our Y.
It's such an interesting organization, and there's much more to it. Than what you initially see on the surface. So wherever you go, folks, in any city, go check out the Y. See what services they offer, because you never know what's going to happen. All right, now real quick, what is Fitness 101? Let's discuss some programs.
Things specific to our Y. Fitness 101 is great because it is kind of your beginner's class for the fundamentals of exercise. So it's a 6-week free class. You don't have to be a Y member. You just need to come sign up, and it goes October 25th through December 15th. And it runs during that kind of noon hour, 12:15 to 1:15, Tuesdays and Thursdays. But you can just go to the front desk by October 21st. So you have this month to decide. But if you don't know where to start and you don't want to invest money and know that it might be a failed attempt, come in, try the 6-week class. It's amazing what just getting that introduction and knowing your way down the hallway will do.
Finding the bathrooms.
That's right.
All right. So there you go, folks. If you're looking to start fresh, you don't know what's the first step? You know, a lot of times that was the biggest problem for me when I was younger. I just didn't know where to start. Everything seemed pretty intimidating at that point, you know. Didn't even know, am I going to hurt myself? That's, know, one of the big things, lifting weights. This will help you out. Fitness 101. All right. Basketball signups. This is an adult program, correct?
No,
this is for the kids. Okay.
So 2nd and 3rd grade, this is a great way to our local community. Isn't you do your basketball, we do our basketball. Sheridan is awesome because the rec district and the Y partner so that we don't duplicate services.
That's fantastic.
And so 2nd and 3rd grade is at the Y. 4th and 5th grade is through the rec district. So you register at the Y if it's 2nd and 3rd, 4th and 5th at the rec district. $35 includes a jersey, and it's just an awesome way to get kids plugged in.
All right. Now, Give Your Heart to a Child, a campaign that we talk about every year. I love this campaign. I love what it does for the community. What are we going to see? When's it going to start?
Yeah, so the kickoff is October 18th. We are gathering up all of our campaigners. So please, if you would be willing to, it's a really simple way to get plugged in to an awesome campaign. All of the money goes to scholarshiping so that everyone in our community has access to the Y. A campaigner would come on October 18th, get some tacos. We'll have some warm feel-goods. We'll get you your packet, and your packet has 3 to 5 folks who already give to the YMCA for you to call and say, would you join with me this year in giving? And so it's a really easy process.
Do we have a goal this year?
Yes. So we would like to hit $200,000. We just saw, especially even this summer, the amount of kids that needed scholarship for camps. That's really going to be our stretch goal this year to make sure we always can say yes to whoever is in need.
And let's fill those camps. We had so many camps this summer.
Yeah.
And were they all full pretty much?
Yes.
See,
it was
how
just
amazing is that?
Yeah.
We still, live in a community that supports that type of activity, those camps, and the versatility of these camps.
Yeah.
You don't even have to leave town.
No.
Not only that, but you can go play Dungeons and Dragons.
That's right.
Which I just want to
Yes.
specify that. All right. Now, tell me about the Building Belonging theme for the year.
Yeah. So with the campaign, we generally, it's a Give Your Heart to a Child campaign, but every year we try to focus on what is it really doing. And, we're building at the Y. We're still in the middle of construction, so a little play on those words, but really it's the belonging. And so just like there's Ys that operate without any fitness center, our work, fitness, sports, camps, they're all just modes of getting to the strengthening community through belonging. And so I just recently wrote an article about how my heart's been heavy about active shooters. And what do active shooters have in common is that they don't feel like they belong to the community.
They're outside.
You don't hurt something you feel like you're part of. And so I'm thinking about kids who feel isolated, especially young men who don't feel like they belong. And campaigns like this is just the first step. We make sure that you can financially get to the Y. But then we have to work really hard as a community, both our staff at the Y, but also our community members of inviting people to participate in the community in simple ways, noticing when someone's gone, telling people you missed seeing them, even those micro relationships, the person that you always see on your way to your mailbox or in the grocery store or wherever, to just make sure someone is known and seen. And I think our campaign is just one crucial step, as you said, the dances that everyone could go to for $1. We need those things. And not to say it's a cure-all, but I think it's the right ingredients for a community combating some really scary parts of our culture.
I think it's an amazing step in the right direction. A lot of times when I was a kid living in Baker City, I lived kind of on the wrong side of the tracks at that point in my life. And I didn't take part in sports because they weren't my people.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. They weren't my crowd. And if they were, who knows? I may have fallen in love with the sport. I may have fallen in love with something that I never actually took advantage of. And so to think that you guys are taking steps to ensure that children have these opportunities. It's one of my favorite campaigns of the year. And, I think we can hit $200,000 pretty quickly. And I hope Sheridan feels the exact same. Now, real quick.
Yes.
If I wanted to apply for that job.
Yes.
Where would I go?
Just call me directly. No. You can stop by the front desk. We have applications online on our website, SheridanYMCA.org. You can call Jennifer Covelo. I should just put her cell phone number on there. But anyways, we're eager to get folks bought into the Y. Our staff is amazing. And once somebody starts at the Y, there's always this moment in the first couple of weeks where they're like, I just leave happy, even if I'm tired. It's good stuff. It's good to have a job where even if you're like, whoa, that was a lot today, that I'm still, I don't know if some drug release in your brain, but I have enough amnesia. I come back the next day excited.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? I forget about all the bad things because the good things were so good.
So good.
Now, just real quick, what benefits comes with that job? And then I'll let you go, I promise.
No, absolutely. So, as you might guess, it comes with that free Y membership and flexible schedule. We have employee discounts and CPR First Aid. We do all the everything's paid trainings. And so the hope is that you leave us better equipped for wherever you go next. And if you choose to stick around like me, we just have awesome full-time benefit packages and even part-time for retirement, 401k, insurance, those type of things.
You never know, folks. Part-time job might change your life.
That's right.
All right. Liz, thank you so much for
Thank
coming in
you.
and talking with me today, and congratulations on that nomination.
Thanks.
It's amazing. All right. When we return, we're going to speak at the YO Theater. This is Public Pulse on 930 KROE at 103.9 FM. Share it.
At Eliason Financial, money management isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about dreams and opportunities, and more importantly, family. We'll take time to get to know you. Then we'll develop a unique wealth management plan that works hard, just like you. To learn more about who we are and what our wealth management advisors can do for you, visit Eliason Financial online or call 307-672-3010. Securities offered through Royal Alliance Associates, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Champion Funeral Home is dedicated to providing compassionate and personalized service to your families. They provide support, personable care, and affordable prices to Sheridan and Johnson County and surrounding areas. Champion Funeral Home has been family-owned and operated since 1911. They will comfort you in your time of need and provide your family with a meaningful tribute to your loved one. Contact Champion Funeral Home at championfh.com or call 674-6369.
What if you had more time to manage your business operations, sell your products, or take a vacation? What if you had someone to pay your bills, handle your payroll, or watch your bottom line? Let the accounting professionals at Harker Mellinger add free time to your schedule by providing a cost-effective bookkeeping service, as well as adding useful management reports for your business. Call or visit Harker Mellinger at 1811 South Sheridan Avenue in Sheridan. And remember, the initial consultation is always free.
Hey there, listeners. I'm every over-enthusiastic radio announcer ever. And if you think that's enthusiastic, then you need to check out Best Real Estate, because we are enthusiastic about selling properties. So if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell, we are your go-to real estate team. Call us at 675-BEST or visit our website at bestwy.net for all of your real estate needs. Brokered by EXP.
Dan Marshall here with Captain Clean. Your heating and cooling system are the lungs of your home or business, taking air in and breathing it out, directly affecting your indoor air quality. Normal day-to-day activity generates lots of contaminants and air pollutants such as dander, dust, and chemicals. Call today for your free HVAC cleaning estimate. It's 100% free, and nobody has the equipment or expertise to clean HVAC like we do. Call Captain Clean today, 672-0726. Affordable choices for healthy living.
Are you facing foreclosure or pre-foreclosure and you don't know what to do? Do you want to still be able to walk away with some equity before you lose your property? WIO Renovation is here to help. WIO Renovation will come to your home, evaluate the value, and make you a cash offer with minimal bank involvement. You can avoid the foreclosure process, keep your record clean, and walk away with some equity. Find out more at wiorenovation.com or find them on Facebook.
Good morning and welcome back to Public Pulse, brought to you by our friends out there at Eliason Financial. I'm Floyd Whiting. Sheridan will join groups in 40 different states and countries in an evening of storytelling on Saturday, November 19th. This is a worldwide event. It's called the Telebration, and it brings together different and diverse stories in a mixture of personal, historical, folk and fairy tales, tall tales, myths, legends, cultural stories, all to highlight the storyteller's special talents and styles. WIO Play is currently searching for local Sheridan County storytellers to join the lineup for this inaugural event. Joining me this morning for the second part of the show to talk about this and all things WIO Theater is Executive Director Erin Butler. Good morning, Erin.
Good morning.
Excuse me, I had a burp there. A lot of coffee. A lot of coffee. It's always rude.
I hope you feel better.
I do. Now,
I'm glad. It wasn't that big, so I wouldn't have even noticed.
You just held the 5th annual WYO Film Festival.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was awesome. It was awesome. It was a great turnout every year. It gets a little bit better.
I was going to say, this sounds like one of those things that just gets bigger and better every year you hold it.
Yeah, it seems to. And all the credit goes to Justin Straub because he's really the driving force behind the festival. He arranges. Oh my gosh, he watches so many movies. That's
kind of what he does, isn't it?
Crazy. I mean, hundreds of films. Hundreds of films. I'm not even exaggerating. So he watches all these films and he chooses them and he gets the filmmakers here and he arranges all the VIP events. This year he had some help with a few other folks, but he works hard and it's a great event. It's a fun weekend. We had, again, a great turnout and some really interesting, thought-provoking films, for sure.
Do you remember one like that really sticks in your memory right off the top of your head?
Well, a lot of people might be familiar with, we had a good audience for a film called Nowhere Man and a Whiskey Girl. A super interesting story about this couple. The woman who is actually originally from this area, Ranchester, Dayton, and she was a musician. She went out and was doing a lot of music and passed away, unfortunately, at a very young age. And so it's sort of her beautiful story of bringing her light and joy and music to the world as best as she can. And it was just it was so great. It's always fun to have that local connection.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot, about that particular person and just more about where we come from in a way.
It's an amazing festival. And he does. He watches so many movies.
Yeah.
We interviewed him a couple of years ago, and it's almost like his job is to sit and vet through all of these movies just to organize this film festival every year, which, like you said, just keeps getting bigger and better every year. All right. So the next big thing, and this seems like it's going to be pretty big. Tell me about the Telebration.
Yeah, it's new. It's new to us. So we have this local storyteller, and she kind of came to us through actually the creative aging classes. She's moved here from Cody, and she is part of this national network of storytellers. And she brought us this idea, this thing called a Telebration, and it's nationwide, and it just celebrates people and their stories. So we're going to put on a storytelling event. We're excited about it. And she's done a lot of them. So she has lots of expertise. She goes to many different events all over the country. And so she knows sort of the drill. And we're excited to welcome people of all ages and all experiences to tell their stories. We're looking for 10-minute stories. We of course might not accept everybody's story, but please, if you have something that you want to share with the community, something that you've been wanting to talk about, it doesn't need to be personal. It can be, mythical. It can be whatever you think might be interesting. There's a way to do that. If you go to wyotheater.com, you can click on the link and submit your story.
Anything. Myths, legends, fairy tales, tall tales.
It seems to be true. Yeah.
History.
It's it's a wide range of things. We had talked about maybe putting a theme on the event, but the woman we're working with sort of she was like, let's just see what variety of things we can bring forth. So we're leaving it open. Wide open. Again, there's no guarantee that maybe this time around it's something that we can only accommodate so many people, but should be fun,
Yeah, this sounds like a really interesting
engage.
Event.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to hearing some of these tales that come up just by leaving it open like that. Because now, boy, you don't know what's going to show up at the front door, right?
People in their minds, who knows what's happening in there.
All right, now the WYO Gala is just around the corner.
Yes.
I want to thank you for bringing AJ, Zach, and I always...
Jeannie.
Yeah. Jeannie. They were absolutely great. Yeah. I love all the work that she puts into the costumes, the passion for everything that she does. Just trying to outfit all those actors to look like, what was it, 1590?
Yeah. Yep.
That's got to be just so much work. And then,
Yeah.
Zach, he looks young.
Yeah.
But it's great to see him, like, he's already going.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
He knows what he wants to do, and that's
Totally.
great to see. And of course, AJ.
Yeah.
I've never met a real magician, so that was kind of cool.
Well, I'm telling you, Floyd, I hate to interrupt you, but we do have a show in December with he and John Rodolini.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to have like a big
Double
magic
magic act.
That is pretty amazing.
Yeah, so we might have to get him.
We might have to have him come in here
That'd be
because
cool.
I asked, I didn't want to put him on the spot, but I would like it if he did a trick.
Oh, totally.
I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
We've got streaming ability now.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? So I think that would be great to have right here on the show. All right. But if you can't be at the gala, don't worry about it, folks. There's encore performances.
Yeah.
You get to see this show, Something Rotten.
Yes.
We talked about it. It's about two brothers. One of them really wants like playwright success, but he's competing with this Shakespeare guy who came out of left field, right?
What? Yeah.
So it's kind of a comedy.
Oh, it's extremely funny. It's extremely funny, and it's very silly. And I just thinking about some of the musical numbers, you're not going to stop laughing. I mean, this is true. And even if you don't get all the references, because there are a lot of references to modern musicals, you'll get a number of them, even if you haven't seen a ton. And it's really clever. It's really clever. It's a fun show.
I love watching plays that either challenge me intellectually, stir up an emotion, and make me react, or are so intelligent that I'm like, I like to sit there and be awed, where I'm like, wow, this is just smart, and we've got those types of plays like that, especially comedies.
Right.
I love it when authors and playwrights can take something, political satire, social commentary, hide it within the story.
Yeah.
And this sounds like this might be one of those plays.
In a way, for sure. And there's some really fun characters. And I don't want to give away too much, but this is totally, I just have to share this part because I think they'll get the humor when I say. So as we mentioned last time, Nick goes to a soothsayer to find out, like, what is the next best thing so I can beat Shakespeare? What can I write that's going to be, like, astronomically cool? And, of course, the soothsayer says, musical, which is, what? How does that work?
It's insane.
So they're
What an
trying to
insane
write
thought.
these ridiculous musicals about, like, the plague because that's what's happening then. and then, he's again trying to, what's Shakespeare's thing? Like, what is Shakespeare going to do in the future? You have to tell me. So the soothsayer comes back and he has all these very funny things. And he says, it's a play. It's a play called, I think it's a musical, and it's called Omelette. Well, which obviously is not a Shakespeare play, but it might be one if you consider what omelet sounds like. So anyway, it's very funny. And that just gives you a taste of, like, just the hysterical nature of this very fun show.
And those encore performances, folks, if you can't make it to the gala, October 20th and 22nd, that'll be starting at 7 p.m. October 23rd, you'll get, this is called a matinee, right? When you have it. All right. Yes. See, I'm learning terminology.
Yes, Floyd.
It's only taken me 2.5 years.
You knew it. I know you did.
2 p.m.,
Yes.
October 23rd, folks. You can get in there and see it. Now, we also have Met Live in HD, open seasons. Tell me what this is.
So it's Medea. It's Medea is what's opening their season this year. Oh my gosh, it's so dark. As if people are familiar with that story, and it's by a person. I can't think of the proper term. His last name is Cherubini. Cherubini. And I think this might be a Met premiere.
Oh, wow.
So this is really exciting. And again, it's the story of Medea. She's that sorceress who is seeking vengeance, and it has all these dark themes. Of course, beautifully sung by some very, very, by a very, very formidable soprano, and just it's a great way for them to kind of kickstart their season. It's exciting.
And I would say if you haven't attended one of these Met Lives, maybe this is the great time to do it, right? October 22nd at 10:55. This is going to be going on.
Mm-hmm.
So head on down there and take a gander at that. And this may open up an event for you or a play that you'll be going to often, because you show Met Live down there quite a bit, don't you?
Yeah, so they have 10 shows in their season, which is what we present. This year we're also including the Magic Flute, which is sort of a holiday tradition. It's one of the very first ones they recorded back in 2016. And it's super accessible. So we show this around the holidays. It's sung in English, even though it wasn't written that way. And it's short. It's maybe an hour and a half without an intermission. So if you're needing to like dip your toe into the opera world and you're intimidated by this, don't be. This is a great one. This will be in December. And then, of course, the rest are just exquisite. They're even if you can't get into the singing, the scenery in and of itself, it's really a beautiful production.
And the performances by these individuals, I'm sure, just take your breath away.
Completely.
Now, something that I do want to touch on with you, we've only got about 3 minutes left, but you've got the Rocky Horror
Knew
Picture.
you'd get that
of
in
course,
there.
Of course, I'm going to get
I'm
this.
still waiting
this
for
one
you to
in there.
come in costume.
I just may this year. I'm trying to overcome my own anxieties. Get out there in the crowd a little bit more.
This is your event then. This is an anxiety-free event. Just come in the craziest thing you want to wear. That's the point, right? It's a fun show. It's a Rocky Horror Picture Show. We're partnering with Trident Productions or Trident Theater on this. And it's As You Might Know It. So it's the film with what we call the shadow cast, people performing the show. We encourage the callbacks. We encourage all the traditional things that people who are familiar with that tradition will enjoy.
It's something very, very specific.
Completely.
I mean, it might not be for everybody.
No.
But for those who enjoyed the Rocky Horror Picture Show,
Yes.
this is the way
Oh, it's a hoot.
it was really intended to be seen.
Completely. Completely.
Sitting at home and watching it on a big screen, which is the way that I do it. I want to experience one of these.
Well, you got to get up. You got to do the time warp as it's happening. I
Exactly.
mean, with all the people, you throw the rice, you bring your umbrella, you bring your newspaper. There's a whole thing.
And you'll have a list up on YO Theater, right?
We did last year, so yeah, I think we will do that again.
We'll throw a list up there of everything that you're gotta have in your bag when you show up, because there's a lot of stuff that goes with that. Now, we also have an Impact Sheridan Startup Challenge. That's going to be Tuesday, November 1st.
Yep.
Dave Munsick CD release, Backtracks with opener by Sam Munsick.
Yeah.
That's going to be November 4th at 7 p.m.
That's right.
And Aaron, I want to thank you for coming in today.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for everything that you do for us down there
Pleasure.
at the YO Theater.
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate you, and I love your purple shirt.
Thanks. It's fall.
It's fall. Yeah. All right. You've been listening to Public Pulse on 930 KROE at 103.9 FM. Shared.
At Eliason Financial, money management isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about dreams and opportunities, and more importantly, family. We'll take time to get to know you. Then we'll develop a unique wealth management plan that works hard, just like you. To learn more about who we are and what our wealth management advisors can do for you, visit Eliason Financial online or call 307-672-3010. Securities offered through Royal Alliance Associates, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
How about a change in color and look for your home? Hi, Kurt Smith here for the Sheridan Commercial Company. Our paint shop has so much to offer when it comes to painting. We have the latest in computer color matching with color choices, or choose from over 2,000 colors in our color center. We are continuing our paint sale, so come on down and take advantage of the quality True Value and PPG paints. Great paint, great store. The Sheridan Commercial Company at 303 Broadway. Since 18 $19.92. Open 7 days a week.
Let's talk about tires. Think about the snowy, icy roads ahead, and now think about your current worn-out tires. How safe does that make you feel? Well, lucky for you, Midas Tire and Auto has their best tire sale all year going on now. Buy 3 tires, get 1 free. That's 25% off. And the best part is if you aren't ready to put your tires on right now, Midas will hold them until you're ready. How great is that? Don't miss the big tire sale going on now at Midas Tire and Auto on East Brundage Lane in Sheridan.
They're here. Hi, Autumn Showtime Morris here with Homestar. Don't be scared. Let's get you qualified for a home loan that will get you out of this place. Speaking of Showtime, check out the Scare